Hi, my name is Paige. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my Words of Radiance reaction vlog. So if you would like to start with my Way of Kings reaction, I will link that video right up here somewhere, and you can watch that first if you haven't already seen it. But I figured I would continue on with this little series, even if only like 10 people watch it, because I like reacting to the books that I read. I sometimes forget that I'm filming these though, so there might be times where I don't react to as much as I could have, but I'm going to try and get better as these vlogs continue on with these books. So like I said, we are reading Words of Radiance in this vlog. Just like I did in the last video, I just want to ask that if you are commenting in this video, please leave everything between book 1 and book 2 now. So any theories that I might have, please don't confirm them. Any discussions that you have, please don't try and hint to what may or may not be happening in books 3 and 4. I am going to try and pick up book 3 next month, so by then hopefully we can talk about those, but I just want to keep everything to books 1 and book 2 in this vlog, just because I really do try and stay away from any spoilers for Brandon Sanderson books. I just like going into them blind and not having too high of expectations, and getting to be surprised by some of the endings and the twists and turns is my favorite part of reading some of his books, and just seeing how thoroughly he sets everything up to be revealed. So please, please, please don't give any spoilers past book 2, but other than that, you can spoil everything that we've read in book 1 and book 2. I would love to chat about some of these things and hear what you might have thought when you were reading them, or if you're also reading along and are at book 2 as well. I want to know if you have similar theories to me, what's going to happen in the next few books. So I am going to let you get started on watching this vlog. It is quite long, I'm sorry about that, but I hope it's fun, so enjoy. Yes, I feel as tired as I looked. I started my first week at my new job, or new old job, because I had a job there before, but now I'm rehired there, and I'm tired. They were throwing a lot of information at me that didn't make sense when I had worked there previously. Like, I didn't do any of these things that they're telling me I will be now doing, so I was just very confused the whole time, just hearing a lot of information, and it's also a new routine that I had to get into, so I'm tired from that. But also I finished The Lost Metal, and I am emotionally devastated from that book. The way that it ended ripped my heart out. I was not okay with it. I'm refusing to acknowledge that that's how it ended. But yeah, I couldn't even read anything yesterday. I was going to start Words of Radiance yesterday, but I could not. So today we are going to start. It is 10 a.m. and I'm hoping to read about 6 hours today. We will see if I can, because I also have to film 1, maybe 2 videos today if possible. But I have the book physically, which I was planning to read it that way, but now that I have this job, it's nice to have a Kindle there so I can read during lunchtime, and any downtime that I have, I can just pull this out and not have like a full book that I have to carry around. So I actually found the ebook on Libby as well, so I have the audiobook and the ebook available to me on Libby right now, so that's how we're going to try and read it. I think that this reaction vlog is going to be a little bit different than the last one. Because I am working, I might have to record my thoughts after I get home, or once I get into the car at the end of the day or something, just because I can't film in a law firm, you know. I just don't think that would be very wise of me to do that. So my reactions may be a little bit more delayed, or I might have to do them at different increments, but today I have no work to do because it is Sunday. So let's go ahead and get this reaction started. I have no predictions, no theories going into this. I'm just still sad from The Lost Metal, so I need this to distract me. Hopefully no one dies in the first 100 pages or something. Okay, I haven't really had much to say so far. I feel like we've just been like being reintroduced to everybody and what's been going on, and kind of like catching up to the few days that it's been since the last book. So I don't think there's been much of a time jump. Anyway, there hasn't been much to comment on, except for now we're finding out that Shallan is having the same sort of experiences as Kaladin, with a Spren who doesn't have any memories, and she is also starting to pull all of the energy from the spheres. So it's looking like she's about to start going down the same path as Kaladin with that, and Yasna has hinted at them having the same skills as a Knight of Radiance. I'm intrigued by that. I'm eager to see where that goes. But yeah, I don't have much to say quite yet because I don't feel like we've gotten into the thick of anything, aside from me thinking that Dalinar is gonna have like a massive downfall, as well as Shallan, because she just like said a comment where she feels like everything in her life is like falling into place. So, you know, she's gonna like hit rock bottom at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be in this book or the next one or the next one or the next one, but I'm eager for that. I'm sorry about my ceiling rattling. I'm telling you, every time my AC is on, it does this. I can't help it. I try, but please bear with it so I can share my thoughts when they come, because it annoys me just as much as I'm sure it might annoy you listening to it. Okay, I am going to go back to listening now. Yasna just got killed? What? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. No. Not possible. What? Okay, I am trying to figure out if I'm understanding this bit correctly. So I'm in one of the interlude parts, and this is the second chapter that we've gotten in Eshonai's point of view, and I believe Eshonai is one of the Parshmen, I think. So it sounds like the spears that have been like the currency in this world and also a form of like light bulbs are actually Spren trapped inside these spheres. That's what Eshonai is making it sound like. So when the spheres get charged in the high storms, that means that it's a Spren getting trapped inside of it? Is that what I'm reading? Because that's so sad. And then like, is it dying when the sphere dims or like the light goes out? Or is it just getting released? I could probably read and figure that out, but the little Sprens are getting trapped in the spheres? Is that true? Okay, I need to keep reading. Okay, before I head off to bed, I figured I would just tell you what my thoughts are right now. So I hit the 20% mark. The one thing I am currently the most interested in is what's going to happen to Shallan. So where we're at, she had just like lived through the whole shipwreck and everything, and now she is with the slave trader guy, and I'm just really curious if she's going to be on her own journey or if she's going to be able to make it to the Shattered Plains, and we'll see her interacting with those characters. But I have a feeling she's going to have like a pretty rough go of it. I did predict that a little bit earlier, that things were not going to go as smoothly for her because she had jinxed herself a little bit with that. So I'm interested in that. I also find it very, very funny that I said something about somebody dying within the first 100 pages and somebody did die within the first 100 pages. So that was a good prediction on my part. Look at me getting something right. Other than that, I wish that we had a chapter with Kaladin before I decided to call it quits for the night. There is a lot of animosity between him and Adolin, and I'm intrigued to see where that goes. But I am pretty happy with how things are going. Adolin just did a duel and got a shard blade, and I'm intrigued to see how many of those he will actually be able to win before he might lose something. I don't know. I'm just having a fun time so far. I am eager to see where this one goes. But like I said, I will be working this week, and I don't know how often I will be able to update you with my thoughts. So I will try and make sure I write things down so I can film them when I get home or something. But yeah, I need to go to bed because I have to wake up early and get ready. So I will see you tomorrow, or at least the next time that I read, depending on how tired I am tomorrow. Good night. Okay, I am home from work and I have thoughts. I have some thoughts. Let's see if I can find the notes that I wrote down. I think I wrote down 2 notes. My Kindle is being very slow. Okay, my main note that I wrote down is between Adolin and Kaladin. So I know it's not gonna happen. I am confident that it won't happen, but if Brandon Sanderson let his main characters be queer, which I haven't seen yet, I'm not sure if he's ever done that. I know he has with a couple of side characters, but if he ever lets his main characters be queer, Adolin and Kaladin would have such a good enemies to lovers arc. I am telling you, the way that they're like bantering with each other a little bit or arguing, perfect setup for enemies to lovers. I would die for it, and if there's fan fiction of it, I will be reading it, okay? I just think it has so much potential for them to both not understand each other, but then have to work together to either protect Dalinar or just to protect their people, you know? I think it would be so good, but I just have a feeling that it's not going to happen, especially with Adolin being betrothed, almost betrothed, pre-betrothed to Shallan at this point. So, interested in that. I just wish it could happen. It would be so good. I hope somebody else agrees with me, okay? But I have a feeling that they're at the very least going to become like best friends, you know? They hate each other so much right now for no solidly good reason, so they're bound to just be super close, I assume. Anyway, my other note that I wrote down was that I absolutely love Renarin, the way that he is now in a shard plate and he's being trained and just like jumping right into it. Like I can't remember, oh, Zahel? He was just saying how he loves Renarin, oh my gosh, I'm getting all my names mixed up, is just so willing to take instruction and try things out even if he's going to look a fool. So I just think he's super duper precious, and I hate that for me because now I'm terrified that I'm going to lose him. So he needs to stay in a little bubble. I know that he has a little bit of an illness, but he needs to have some bubble wrap. I'm glad he has a shard plate because that will protect him for a while, you know? So I just hope that his story arc is going to be pretty epic. Like, he's the underdog, you know? He's the one that people don't think will be as great because his brother is a fighter, his father is a fighter, they're both natural leaders, and he just kind of is quiet and sits in the background. So I feel like he has to have like a pretty big arc, but you know, when things go up they also come down in those arcs. So I hope that his go down is not death, you know, because I like him. He is my favorite so far, and I hope that he doesn't either go evil or die. Okay? And my final thought that I have been having is a little bit of confusion with Shallan. So we had a flashback to like 5.5 years ago, and she had an older brother who was kind of standing up to their father, who is clearly abusive and just a very angry person. And we found out that he had murdered Shallan's mother and Shallan's mother's lover, and her older brother, I cannot remember his name, I didn't highlight his name or anything, he threatened their father with a shard blade. So he had a shard blade, and it did not show that their father had a shard blade. So now I can't remember if he was mentioned in book 1, this older brother. So if he was, I need to go and double check that. But I don't want to look up anything because, again, I don't want to be spoiled on accident, so I don't want to like look up the wiki page or whatever to figure this out. So because I'm confused, my brain is like filling in holes, and I'm feeling like the father kills her older brother, and that's how the father gets a shard plate, and then Shallan has to kill their father in retaliation for that, and that's how she gets the shard blade. I think as a plate I meant blade, because I'm just confused on that aspect because I did forget that detail. So I need to figure out if I can find a way to word my Google search to stick with only Way of Kings and figure out if her older brother was mentioned. If not, I feel like I'm gonna accidentally spoil myself, so I might hold off on figuring that one out. I'm just gonna see how the rest of the story goes, but I'm into it. I am into it. I'm at 25%, and I am going to keep on reading pretty much all night long. So I will see you in a little bit with more thoughts. All right, there was just another assassination attempt on Alucard, the king, and he's throwing another temper tantrum, and I half am convinced that he staged it again himself. But it seems like the iron railing that he was leaning against that collapsed was cut by a shard blade. And so I am thinking Amaran, because he showed back up a couple chapters ago. Kaladin is pissed. Dalinar doesn't quite believe Kaladin that Amaran did what he did to steal the shard blade and plate from Kaladin. I hope I'm saying everybody's names correctly. I don't think I am, but I'm blaming it on him. He is the assassin, even though I don't think he did the last assassination attempt, but we're blaming him anyway. Also, I thought for some reason that this book was going to focus more on Dalinar, but it's not. I feel like we've had 2 chapters with Dalinar's point of view, maybe even just 1. So very interesting on that part. And do I have anything else to say so far? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this, and I feel like I'm flying through this. I'm at 27%, which I don't know. I feel like last book, it took me so long to get to this point, so I'm having a good time. This one's really fun so far. I totally forgot the reason I was going to turn on the camera. I have a prediction. Renarin is going to be king eventually. I don't know when. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think that's his end goal. That's my prediction. Because Alucard's definitely going to die. He's just too dumb to live. Honestly, he cannot be king for that much longer. Get him out of here. I can't help it. I think that Adolin and Kaladin need to be together, but I will try and refrain from talking about that constantly. I just think it's just like so perfectly set up. They both have similar goals in life. They both want to protect Dalinar and Adolin's whole family, and Kaladin wants to protect his family too. They both are fighters. They're both survivors. I just think that it would be good. Also, something that I really want to see is Kaladin helping train the other prince. Oh my gosh, I was just in the Shallan chapter and I totally forgot. Renarin, there we go. I want to see Kaladin helping train Renarin. I just think that would be a fun little dynamic. But yeah, I'm convinced that Adolin and Kaladin are going to be best friends, because at the end of this recent chapter with Adolin's point of view, he was questioning if he has any real friends at all, if anyone would be there for him. And so obviously it's going to be his worst enemy right now, Kaladin. They're just going to be BFFs, even though I wish it was not just BFFs. Okay, it's Pride Month. They need to be in love. Anyway, I'll be done with that. No, I won't. You're going to hear more of that. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But it is 10 o'clock at night. I need to start getting ready for bed. I am eager to continue on with this story. The next chapter is Shallan's though, and I just kind of want to be with Kaladin right now, so I think it's time to call it quits. So I will see you tomorrow, probably after work, and I will give you some thoughts on what I read then. I hope nothing major happens while I'm on my lunch break, because I won't have my camera to record. Crossing my fingers. Okay, hi. I am back from work, and so much was happening in this book that I wrote down a bit of notes. So it started off with, at least my first note, I don't know if this was the first chapter I read, but it was the chapter where I think her name is Tin is trying to help Shallan become more of a con artist, because Tin believes that Shallan is trying to con her way into the Shattered Plains and thinks that Shallan's not telling the truth. So they were practicing accents, and Shallan ended up running into Kaladin, and so because of this she was following or trying to convince Tin that she is a con woman. So she was practicing an accent while speaking to Kaladin and pretending to be somebody from where Rock also lives, and I was so confused by that part. I didn't understand why it was happening. So we know that Shallan is now very, very close to the Shattered Plains. Kaladin says that he works for Dalinar Kholin, who Shallan is trying to go to, not only because Yasna is dead, she's also engaged or like betrothed in a way to Adolin. So I don't know why at that point she didn't tell Kaladin to take her to Dalinar. I'm confused on that bit. So I wrote a bunch of question marks during that time because I didn't understand it. And I wrote down that I felt like it was super weird. It was just a very weird interaction. I was kind of taken aback. Like, I felt like it was very out of character the way that Shallan was acting. I don't know. Shallan confuses me as a whole. I feel like her inner monologue sometimes feels like a very timid, shy girl, but then she'll be talking to somebody and she's super witty and a little bit snarky, and I just feel like her inner monologue and the way that she portrays herself sometimes doesn't align. So I'm still really trying to figure her out. So that was my first reaction. And then on the next chapter I highlighted Sadeas's name because it's the second time I feel like I've heard it. I don't know if it was mentioned in the first book at all, but we've had a couple of point of views from him, and his first name is Toril. I just laughed at that because I thought that was an interesting last name or first name. And I'm also, okay, back to Shallan, because that was my next note that I wrote down. I'm just not getting why she wants to convince Tin that she isn't Shallan. Or I guess I am understanding that she wants to know what Tin is up to and know who Tin knows. So it's a smart play in her part, but I'm just still like, trying to figure that one out. I don't know. She is a little bit of a mystery to me. And I'm just wondering how that's going to hurt her, especially with Kaladin, because now, like, Kaladin's not going to trust that she is who she says she is, and Tin is also not going to trust who she says that she is. So I feel like she's going to get into a very sticky situation later. My next note is about Syl and Pattern saying that Kaladin and Shallan are going to kill them. I will riot if Syl is dead, and I'm even growing to love Pattern. Like, I'm a little bit distrustful of Pattern, but still, if they are killed by Kaladin and Shallan, I'm going to lose it. Unless they turn like super massive evil and they are not good. I don't know if Spren can be evil. I'm not really certain on the whole Spren thing, but I will be so sad if Syl dies. What else have I written down? Oh, when Szeth finally showed up and was attempting to kill Dalinar, he cut Kaladin's arm off with a shard blade, or like severed it a little bit, and I wrote down, is this permanent? Because it didn't feel permanent. And then immediately, like two paragraphs later, Kaladin was able to figure out the arm thing. So I'm impressed by that. I'm very interested to figure out how that happens. And will Shallan be able to do that if something happens to her? Can Shallan even use her shard blade? Can she do that? So those are the big reactions that I had. I was getting really into it. I was worried that something was going to go down right before I was finished with lunch and I couldn't respond or react to it in any way, but we are home and we are going to get to reading for a little bit. I'm hoping I can get to like, I don't think I can make it to 50%. We're gonna shoot for at least 2 hours of reading, if not a little bit more, because I just want to know what's going to happen. Alright, I will talk to you in a second. Use the shard blade. Use it, use it, use it. Yes. Is she gonna use it? Ah? She did it. Aw, Pattern. I'm so proud of her. So Tin was the person who was in charge of Jasnah's assassination and found out that Shallan was actually Shallan. And Shallan was able to kill her, which, you know, I shouldn't be proud of murder, but she did it, you know? And it looks like Pattern went and got the others to help her out. So I am just impressed that she's able to do those things, you know? Because again, her inner monologue is very just meek and naive in a way. And she just doesn't seem like the type to be able to do hard things. But she even had a line where she said, difficult things. Yes, I believe I told you. I've learned that lesson already. Thank you. But she shoves those things down. So good for her. Good for her. She didn't get dead. She got the other person dead. Proud. I'm proud. Okay, I'm super confused about the interlude that just happened. Eshonai has gone into storm form, and I know that was mentioned earlier, but now she has red eyes, and the last quote said she pointedly ignored the voice deep within her that was screaming in horror. So she has turned into something terrible, and I'm not sure what that means. Also, we had another character, Talm, which the name sounds familiar and I don't know why, but he's speaking in another language, but the things that he's saying are very ominous and no one understands what he's saying. So it's going to get a little freaky from here. Things are going to happen, and it sounds a little spooky with this storm form. The high storms have been like super dangerous lately. So I have a feeling, well, I don't know, I have a feeling somebody's going to die by the end of this book. I don't know who. I'm betting it's the king, because I predicted that in the first book and I was really convinced he was going to die. I was shocked by Jasnah dying at the beginning of this one. So maybe everybody's going to be safe, but I think somebody's going to die or get very, very hurt. With Kaladin not having his arm completely out of use, something else has to happen, right? Something big has to happen in this one. But I'm not even halfway through, so it'll be a while until we figure out what that is. Alright, let me go on to part 3. So much has just happened. Shallan is finally at the Shattered Plains. She has met Adolin, she has met Dalinar, she has met Navani, she has met the king, and she has schemed her way into another High Prince's camp pretending to be his niece, and things are going to start happening. I'm convinced. And Adolin is attracted to her, she's attracted to him, but she also had like enemies to lovers bantering going on with Kaladin. Apparently I ship Kaladin with everybody, so I know this will literally never happen, but a Kaladin, Adolin, Shallan triangle, true triangle, would be very appreciated. I know it's not going to happen though. So assuming Brandon Sanderson goes down the path that he did in Mistborn books, he's going to have Adolin and Shallan end up together. He seems to like arranged marriages that the couple ends up actually falling in love. I think he likes that route. So I'm going to assume that's how that's going to go, but it would be interesting if she ends up with Kaladin, or if Kaladin ends up with anybody at all. I would prefer if he didn't, but I'm just going to assume that there's going to be some heteronormative ideals in this book, and Shallan will be married off eventually. It is also like a political move for her, like financially she needs to, so like I won't be so upset about it, but it is what it is. So I am going to shower, and then I'm going to read for maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and I will let you know if anything happens. It looks like we are going to a 4 years ago chapter right now, so I don't even know whose it is. It looks like it might be Shallan's. Let me go shower. Oh, it's happening. Kaladin's gonna train Renarin, and Renarin was so precious when he was asking if he could be trained by him. I love him so much. I need him to be protected at all costs, okay? Okay. I will not be able to emotionally handle if anything happens to him. He is too precious. He better not die, and he better not turn evil, okay? I'm saying that right now. Please, just let him be a cute little teddy bear forever. Okay, I'm going back to reading. Okay, it is officially bedtime, and this last chapter reiterated something that I think happened in another chapter with Shallan, and I don't know why it is her chapters that I'm just not able to take in all of the information and understand it on time, but it appears that in her drawings she is then able to soulcast and transform herself into what she draws, so she can disguise herself in that way. So she is about to go meet up with somebody who, I don't know, was in charge or was a participant in Yasna's assassination. So I'm eager to know what's happening with that. There's just so much going on right now that I want to just keep reading and keep reading and keep reading, because I am so into this. But I do need to be responsible and go to bed right now. So I will see you after work tomorrow. I will take notes if I am able to read during lunch, which I might not be able to tomorrow, but we will see. I am home from work, I have eaten dinner, and I've just scrolled through TikTok for a little bit. So now I feel like I'm ready to read for the rest of the night until I have to shower and wash my hair. It's a hair wash day. Ugh. But I don't really have a lot of comments of what I read during my lunch break today, besides this whole Moash situation. So Kaladin has found out that Moash was the one who is not in charge of trying to assassinate the king, but he's part of a group of people who are trying to assassinate the king. And Moash is kind of like, well, you can't do anything because you wouldn't betray a Bridge 4 member. And Kaladin ended up going to a meeting with the person who might be in charge of this, and they're trying to rein Kaladin into this whole thing. And I think Kaladin's gonna have to kill Moash or turn him in, which would absolutely devastate him, because he will be the one to have to kill somebody for a Light Eyes too. So I'm really worried about how that's going to impact him. Maybe things will work out. Maybe Moash will see the light and will be better and just get over his whole wanting to kill the king because the king inadvertently killed his parents. So I'm worried about that. We will see how this goes. Other than that, I don't think much happened today. Maybe they did, and I will be reminded as I start reading again, but I'm gonna go and read a little bit. I'm very tired today though, so I don't know how long I'll be able to read. I guess we'll find out. This is the best line of this entire series. I don't have to read the other books to know that this is the best line. Well, Adolin said, if you must know, an old adage on the battlefield teaches us that it's better to be embarrassed than dead. You can't let anything draw your attention from fighting. So yes, I, Adolin Cullen, cousin to the king, heir to the Cullen princedom, have shot myself in my shark plate 3 times, all on purpose. That's it. That's the best line of any book I've ever read. This is the weirdest conversation. I kind of love that Shallan is asking him these things. Okay. I just have to document that moment. That is perfection. Perfection. Wait. Amaran's blade was Shallan's brother's? That means that Kaladin killed Shallan's brother. Is that what that means? Should I have known that earlier? Should I have known who Kaladin had killed? Was that person named? Kaladin killed her brother. And so that, oh my god. Okay. Well, that's gonna be bad news if they ever find out. Oh no. Okay, so Cal is talking to Syl right now because he's able to do, is it lashing? So I think he's up in the sky right now. He's able to make himself fly in a way, and he's noting that Szeth was not able to, or Szeth was able to do this, but he doesn't have a spren. And Kaladin said, you don't think he has a spren, Kaladin said, but how does he do what he does? The weapon, Syl said, more confidently than she had before. It's something special. It was created to give abilities to men, much as our bond does. So, is Szeth's shard blade infused with, like, spren magic? Is that why people with shard blades or the Radiance kill the spren? Is that why, like, that warning has happened? That the abilities that Syl has, like, can go into the blade, and therefore the Radiant doesn't need a spren? I'm trying to understand that. I'm not certain if I got that right, but that's what I'm guessing. Okay, I don't know. I'm just putting that thought out there just to see what happens with it, I guess. Okay, I am home from work and I immediately got in pajamas, but I have so much to talk about. I have been reading, what was it? It looks like chapters 52 through 56 or so, and they were so good, so good. I didn't want to stop reading. I literally had to get a lot of work done, and that's the only reason I didn't read the entire last half of the day, because I did not want to put this down. So I have a couple of notes written down. The first part, I still am shipping Kaladin and Adolin so hard. There's a part where they were in like a group of people and Kaladin needed to go check on something else, and he just had to like give eye contact to Adolin, and Adolin knew that he had to like look out for himself and make sure that nothing happened to him and Shallan. And it's just like they're already in sync, their minds are in sync. I need them to be at least BFFs, okay? It needs to happen right now. My camera's gonna die. I'll be right back. And we are back. Okay, next, the whole big fight between Adolin and I can't remember the other person's name. Ellet something. He had a duel that he was going to do, and he told the guy, you can bring somebody else and I'll fight you. And this person showed up with 4 shard bearers. So it was 4 shard bearers total. And going into that chapter, I was thinking, okay, Adolin is going to lose no matter what if it's going to be the 2 people duel, or I mean the 2 people against him. I just figured he was too confident going into this, that there had to be something that like knocked him down a peg. So I just assumed that he was going to lose. But then all 4 of them walked out, and I knew that he was somehow going to win. I just didn't know how. I figured Kaladin would be involved, but then Renarin popped up trying to fight a little precious bean. He's trying so hard. I love him so much. He was so brave, but like come on. I feel like that's just, it's a little dumb on his part, especially because he knows that his brother will do literally anything to protect him. So that could have gone much worse than it did, and I'm glad that Kaladin did jump in, and it was wild what he was able to do. I was just so impressed with the things that he did. He literally broke both his legs and was able to heal them during that fight, so he was pretty badass. He managed to pull through, and then he touched the shard blade and heard screaming, so I don't know what that's about, but he thought he heard Syl screaming, so I feel like that was a memory coming to him, or the last time that that blade had been used on Syl. I'm not sure if that was what the connection was. I guess we will find out. And then, oh yeah, at the very end, where Kaladin had requested to duel Amaran and accused him of being a murderer and stealing his shard blade. And now Kaladin is about to be arrested, so I need to know what's happening immediately. Things are happening so fast in this book, I cannot put this down, or I have to put it down, and it's really sad when I have to put it down. So I'm gonna read now. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I'm confused why Kaladin and Shallan's chapters have been intertwined recently. I feel like there's going to be a purpose for that, and I'm not sure what it is. If there isn't a bigger purpose, I assume it's just because everything that they're doing is happening like at the same time, but I feel like things that have happened with Adolin have also happened along the same time as the other two as well. So I'm just confused why Shallan and Kaladin have been like within the same chapter every time. At least it's happened in the past like 3 or 4 chapters with them, which is confusing. So I'm curious about that. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe it's just because of the timing. Might not be a bigger purpose, but okay, that's all. Okay, we just had another giant interlude between parts 3 and 4. And Eshonai is getting very scary. She is in storm form, and she's trying to get all of the Parshendi to be in storm form. All of them, like 17,000 of them, to be in storm form. So I'm not sure if this is tied to Shallan and Yasna's theory, or I guess it's still a theory, it hasn't been proven, that the Parshendi are the Voidbringers. So is storm form actually like the Voidbringer form? I'm confused on that, if that's how that's connected there. I feel like it's probably not, just because, again, I've said this a million times in this series, everything I predict ends up being wrong, for the most part. So, not sure if that's what that means, but it's where I'm going. And now we are back with Kaladin, Shallan, and Dalinar. Okay, Pattern is saying some pretty strange things. He has said to Shallan, after Shallan said something, we have more important things to discuss. Such as why you have forgotten how to make your images produce sound. You did it once, long ago. And then he just said, Shallan, I know that you have forgotten much of what once was. Those lies attracted me, but you cannot continue like this. You must admit the truth about me, about what I can do and what we have done. More, you must know yourself and remember. What is happening? Was my prediction in book 1 with like Kaladin being like a resurrected person? Because at the very, very, very beginning, I swore the prelude or something talked about that the Radiance like lived multiple lives, like they got resurrected time and time again. So is that real? Is that real? Was I understanding that correctly? Was Shallan in the past one of the Night Radiants? Same with Kaladin, same with Lift, whoever that was. Were all of them resurrected? Is that what's going on? Is that what Pattern's talking about? Because Pattern has said that Shallan will kill him. Like it was just a fact that's already happened before. And then Kaladin hearing that would happen with Syl too. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. That theory is still holding out. I'm gonna keep going. Maybe I'll get answers by the end of this book. Maybe? Did Shallan kill her mom? Did she kill her mom? Because that's the only thing that's going to make sense, I think. But I don't know why she would kill her mom. So her mom must have been a shard bearer, and Shallan was the one who killed her. Somehow, probably an accident? And that's why her father's so angry? I mean, not that he has much of an excuse for the things that he does, but it's the only theory that I have for how that would make sense. And then there's been a few times where Shallan will say, like, father didn't kill her. So it had to have been her. But why would she have done it? It had to have been an accident, but like, what was happening? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. But that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it, because there's been no hint that her father had a shard blade only that her older brother did. No talk that her father did, or else he probably would have used it on so many more people. So it had to have been her mother, and so the only reason that her father doesn't hurt her is because she has a blade. That's the only thing that makes sense. But why would she have killed her mom? I just want to know. I don't know about Kaladin right now. I don't know about him. He just got out of prison, and he was awarded a shard plate and shard blade full set. And again, he turned it down. I'm not surprised on that. But he gave it to Moash. And now he's saying that he's gonna go through with the plan of murdering the king. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, he's saying that he knows it's for the good of Alfcar, and that Moash is the one who's doing it for revenge. But the reason Kaladin came to this decision was because he realized that Elhokar was inadvertently the reason that Tien ended up dying. So it's for revenge for him as well. I mean, it's a good thing that he's having a villain arc in the long run, I think. But it's also just like, ugh, come on, come on, come on. Listen to Syl. Syl knows everything. You have to trust her. I don't know. And then she's like not talking to him right now. So I feel that. I feel that. I'm a little bit mad at him too. But it is 10 o'clock. I need to start getting ready for bed and go to bed. And I will be finishing this tomorrow. I'm at 72%. It looks like I have probably a little under 6 hours left to read. So with an hour at lunch, maybe a little bit of extra time if I have free time at work, and then all night long tomorrow. At the latest, I'll finish it Saturday morning. But I'm so excited to see how this one ends. But I really hope it doesn't end on a massive cliffhanger, because I cannot read book 3 yet. I have so many other books that I have to read, and some of them are so big. So, see you tomorrow. Adolin and Shallan are trapped in the chasms right now, and I am so intrigued what's going to happen, but I also feel like them being trapped together and having to figure out a way to survive together is going to lean towards them being love interests. And I already talked about how I would love a true triangle to happen. I know it's not gonna happen, but now I'm just like, oh, okay, it's gonna be an actual love triangle if there is anything romantic going on. I know that this isn't a romance, but come on, give me a true triangle. Just it would be so epic, I think. The 3 of them together, the way that Shallan banters with both of them, the way that Kaladin and Adolin are able to rely on each other and trust each other. It would just be so good, wouldn't it? Does anyone else agree, or am I just throwing out some wild theory? Anyway, I'm super eager to finish this book tonight. I would have read a little bit more at work, but I ended up just like chatting with coworkers. But I have Chipotle. I'm ready to eat and read all night long. Also, I'm very proud of the way that my hair looked today. I don't know if my bangs will ever curl in this exact pattern, but I'm a fan. I'm gonna go eat now. I'm so hungry. They are still stuck in the cavern, and there is a chasm fiend, and I think Shallan's gonna have to use her shard blade. I think she's gonna have to use the shard blade for like the first time on something. That's what I'm hoping. I hope she is able to do that. We will see though. She summoned it, but she's gonna give it to Kaladin. Is he gonna take it? Ooh, is the pattern on her blade? Oh, Shallan is casting like a body double for Kaladin. Okay. It looks like Kaladin was able to kill the chasm fiend, and I don't even know if what I said made any sense, but Shallan, it looks like she drew a picture of him and like soul casted that to, or animated it in a way to distract the chasm fiend, and then the real Kaladin was able to kill it. So she used her skills, and it looks like they're gonna have to share their skills with each other. At least she's gonna have to share hers, because his are still pretty much a secret, because he's not able to take in any Stormlight because Syl is missing. I don't know if she's dead. I'm very worried that she's dead. I thought that she was just being bitter and ignoring him, but the whole, every time he touches someone else's shard blade besides Shallan's, he hears screaming, specifically Syl screaming. So I don't know, but look at them being a team. Look at them being a team. What? How did Shallan get the shard blade now? We have finally gotten her flashback to the night her father died. And she attempted to poison him, it didn't work, and so she strangled him. There is literally no mention of a shard blade. What the hell? How did she get it? And then she said to him, what were the exact words? I'm sorry. Thank you for what you did for me. What did he do for her? What is the answer? I want the answers right now. Okay, Pattern just kind of explained why Syl could be dead, because Shallan is talking to him and asked, or said, there's no wonder you're certain I will kill you. And he said, it is inevitable. You will eventually betray your oaths, breaking my mind, leaving me dead. So Kaladin must have broken one of the oaths that he had taken, and that's why Syl was like acting a little bit strange, and so it broke her mind. But I'm just wondering if he'll be able to... Why am I orange? What is going on with the lighting? Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm just wondering if he will be able to rebond with her, like if she's actually dead, or if it just her mind was a little bit broken. But I'm also a little bit confused which oath he broke, because I kind of forgot what the oaths were that he already took. Unless they weren't oaths that he was saying. But he has said like 2 of the phrases, I believe. So I assume those are oaths. Sometimes this book makes me feel not very smart. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I just have to say that I love that Michael Kramer makes Elhokar so whiny. Like, this part where he's trying to ask Kaladin like how to be a better king. I think it's meant to be like endearing, like he's trying, he really does want to try and be better than he has been, but he's so whiny. The narrator's voice, I love it. I love it. Every time he does his voice, it's just like a whiny little brat. So good. What's happening? Syl is back. Okay, Syl's not dead. Kaladin has a shard blade. Where the hell did that come from? And it was a setup the whole time to execute Elhokar to get Dalinar and Kaladin separated? Why? And why is there a bug on me? I don't get it. Why do they need to be separated? I'm super confused. I am obviously reading along and listening to the audiobook at the same time, and this is the first time in both of these books that the ebook isn't matching the audiobook. There's more in the ebook. After Szeth and Kaladin's fight and Kaladin stabs Szeth and Szeth like lets go of his shard blade, Syl says, get that sword. Syl sent to Kaladin a mental shout, grab it. Then Kaladin says, the assassin. He has released the bond. He's nothing without that sword. It must not be lost. All of that was not in the audiobook. And then, right after all of that was over, Syl's like standing in front of him, and there's like a couple of paragraphs that weren't in the audiobook as well, where Kaladin says, I didn't kill him. Did you want to? No, but I should have anyway. You have his blade, she replied. The Stormfather likely took him. And if not, well, he is no longer the weapon he once was. I must say, that was very nicely done. Perhaps I'll keep you around this time. Why was that just cut out completely of the audiobook? I don't get it. I always kind of assume the audiobooks are probably recorded like prior to the very, very final edits, so maybe that's what happened, but I don't know. It was just very weird. I thought I had turned too many pages. Anyway, I have 45 minutes left of this, maybe a little bit less, because I know the ending is all the explanations and stuff that Brandon Sanderson always includes, so whew, I have thoughts. What? Is Lopin growing a new arm? Is that what I just read? Is he glowing a new arm because he's gonna be a Radiant? That's just too silly. You can't have a one-arm Radiant. It's not allowed? Okay. I kind of feel underwhelmed with Shallan's backstory. So she was displaying abilities or whatnot, and her mother was scared of her, so her mom tried to kill her. And Shallan was the one who ended up killing her mother. And in turn, her father tried to protect her by claiming that he was the one who killed her. It doesn't explain why he was so angry. Like, to the extreme that he was. Like, he was angry at Shallan for killing his wife, I assume, and making him take the blame to make him look bad. But, like, his extreme anger from that doesn't really make sense. How did Shallan have a blade at, what, 10 years old? I don't get it. I don't know. I'm a little underwhelmed by that. Maybe it'll start making sense later, but I thought it would be a bigger reveal. What? Adolin? No. There's literally no way that happened. Adolin just killed Zadius? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Is he gonna get away with that? Or is somebody gonna find out? And is Adolin gonna end up being executed? Probably not in these next 13 minutes. But like within the next couple of books. What? There's literally no way Zadius is dead. I can't believe that. I mean, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad Adolin did it. But I don't believe it. Renarin is a Radiant. He's a truth watcher. But I'm just wondering why he hears screams when he touches his own shard blade. Because I guess, like, in my mind, I made up the rule that if it's actually, like, if that shard blade belongs to you, you wouldn't hear screams. So, I want answers for that. So I had a theory the entire time that Jasnah had survived, that she had gone into the other world that I cannot remember the name of. Shadesmar? Shadesmar? Is that what it is? Yeah, I just had a feeling that's what happened, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to seem not very smart if I got it wrong. So I didn't say anything because I know I get those things wrong. But her popping up at the end, it didn't say that that's where she went, but I'm gonna assume that's where she went because it said that she's been on like the other side and she's been like fighting for her life over there. So I feel very satisfied that I did get that right, but I should have documented it because I would have sounded smart and it would have worked in my favor, because I swear I did have that theory the entire time. I was like, there's no way Jasnah is dead, especially because Navani was just so adamant that her daughter wasn't dead right when she found out. And I feel like that's one of those like a mother would know type of deals in stories and stuff. So I just had like a strong feeling like Jasnah's a survivor. There's no way she would have just let an assassin get her. Like she was too smart for that. Whew, did you really make it all the way to the end? Thank you so much. If you have, you can leave any like gemstone emoji that you can find, and that will let me know that you have made it to the end. And if you have no words to comment, that is okay. It was a very long video, but I will not keep you much longer. The third video for this series should be out sometime in July, assuming that I'm able to add Oathbringer to my July TBR. I think I will. I'll fit it in somehow. But other than that, I will see you when my next video comes out, which might be in a week or so. I don't really know. My filming's a little bit behind right now. But I will see you then. If you want to talk to me about books, I have my Instagram and Discord linked in the description always. So goodbye. Thank you for watching. Thanks. I can't believe you stuck this far along. Are you still here? Bye.